Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Knights Talk. I'm your host Rob Leonard, your Knights of Meaford. It's playoff time. The push is on for the Meaford Knights and everybody else in the GMHL. 10 games remaining. The Knights had 3 games over this past week, and let's start with Thursday night at home. Let's see how that one ended up.
Their tender almost misplayed it, and then they got the shot. There's another big shot on goal right now.
In front, scores! The early pressure at Meaford, that's number 27, Liam Dinner. Now here comes Perry Sound back again into the Meaford zone. A shot, scores! Derek Deska.
And sometimes you're going to get there's a steal right at the blue line.
And it shoots, scores! Second effort by Connor Annett again.
Get anything sustained. They've had really no sustained offense. As
wide open net scores. You're not going to get an easier one than that. Number 8, Marco Schumacher. 15 seconds, but Meaford doing a good job at limiting the opportunities here by the Islanders. Here's McNavica. McNavica gets it back. He's going to fire, scores! Absolutely screened on that was Jack Edmonds. Come away with it. Now here's Ragnar Russ. That shot, scores! Derek Boudreau picks up the rebound off the Ragnar Russ shot. Friends in Gatineau, Quebec. Gaetan Boudreau and family. Here's Kyle, scores! Kyle Stevens, wow! In this third period to take a 4-3 lead. Islanders trying desperately to penetrate in front of the Meaford goal. It's there, bouncing and scores. How did that one go in? Salmonen moves in, shot and scores. Not sure how that one got through, but it did. Callum Queenan needs to score here, otherwise the Islanders win it. And there's the save, and that's the game. The Perry Sound Islanders, after almost, about 8 rounds of
eight
shooters.
rounds.
And that's going to do it. As you can see, it took 8 rounds of the shootout to decide this one. The second place Perry Sound Islanders beat the Meaford Knights in a shootout by a score of 5-4, and the Knights again battling these top teams and 1-goal decisions, and Meaford just unable to get over that hump to beat these teams, but only losing by 1 goal. So in the game, Connor Annett, Derek Boudreau, Liam Dinner, and Kyle Stevens would reply for Meaford in a hard-fought battle. It was an exciting game from start to finish, but as I said, Knights fall short in that one. Now, less than about 12 or 13 hours later, unusual start time the following day on Friday in Seguin. The game started at 12:30 in the afternoon, so Knights needing a win in this one, and they did just that. Seguin, no scoring in the first period in this one. Emil Soderberg, newcomer goalkeeper to Meaford, getting his first start as a Knight. In the second period, Seguin would score 3 straight goals and led 3-1 at the end of 2. But in the third period, the Knights would score 8 unanswered goals for a total of 9 unanswered goals in that game to come away with a 9-3 victory. 8 goals in the third period. My goodness. Ragnar Russ would lead the way for Meaford in this one with 4 goals and an assist. Connor Annett with 2 goals and 3 assists. Kyle Stevens, Callum Queenan, and Liam Dinner rounding out the scoring for the Knights in that one. Now at home again on Sunday, new Tecumseh Civics, number 1 in the league in Meaford. Meaford would drop a 4-3 overtime decision to New Tecumseh. Meaford leading a number of times in that game, but would fall short. Again, the number 1, number 2 teams, Meaford playing against them, losing by 1 goal. But nice thing for Meaford is they got us 4 out of a possible 6 points over the weekend. So all in all, a really good weekend for the Knights. Scoring for the Knights now, and Eric Lowry back after his 5-game suspension. Kyle Stevens, and Liam Dinner. Liam Dinner had quite a week. I think he collected 3 goals over those 3 games. So let's take a look now at the league standings. As I said, 10 games remaining now for the Knights of Meaford. Nothing is decided yet. As you can see, taking a look at the Knights, they have 29 points in 7th spot. Bradford with 29 points. But Seguin, the Knights really needed to beat Seguin. I think they'll win the season series if it came down to a tie break. They're only 4 points back in 9th spot. Now you take a look at the top, let's say the top 6 teams. They seem to have pulled away from everyone right now. Meaford has an outside chance of catching Almaguin. They're only 12 points behind them right now. But again, New Tecumseh, Parry Sound really battling it out. As you can see, a 1-point difference there. Parry Sound actually was in first place for a day, but New Tecumseh won, and they're back up there again. Then you look at Temiskaming, South Muskoka, Almaguin in those top 6 spots. So now if we could take a look at the leagues, the team, Meaford Knights league scores. Connor Annett again on top, as he has been all season long, 65 points. Alexander Nazgoff was out with an injury and a suspension, so he missed a couple of games. He's sitting there, he's leading the team in goals scored with 29. Annett leading in assists with 41. And see Ragnar Russ with his 4-goal performance in the game against Seguin, moves to 31 points on the season. And got a couple of defensemen in there with Will Vernon, Connor Long, and Harley Haggerty. Now if we could take a look at the league's leading scorers, as it has been for a good part of the season, Kassan Aldez-Louis from the Bradford Rattlers, 103 points. Reagan Yu, who's been bouncing around in that top 10 all season long, from London, sitting in second with 98. Tied Carl Lydon, making his move now towards the top for South Muskoka, 98 points. Stepan Timofeyev, 98 points. So again, the North Division represented quite well in the top 10 scorers. So if we could take a look at the upcoming games for the Knights, only 10 games remaining. As you can see, this coming Thursday night, Rogers will be there in Meaford, home to the Almaguin Spartans. Now that is the team that Meaford's chasing in the standings. Meaford 12 points back. If they could win this game, they'll only be 10 points back. Outside chance of catching Almaguin for that 7th spot in the race for the playoffs. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of Bradford coming up now between now and the end of the season. Rattlers and Bulls all the way through. You see the final 4 games are against Rattlers and Bulls. So all interdivision, all really important games for the Knights coming up in the next 10. All right, I guess it's time for Meet the Knights. And as I call them, the pride of Norway, we have Eric Brinnestad as our guest this week. On a sinking boat, which teammate would you want bailing with you?
That would probably be Alexander Nazgoff.
Nazgoff, all right. And your favorite NHL player, if you have one?
Phil Kessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you're not playing hockey?
I'm doing online school, so I do homework and watching TV and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you could play, well, you're a defenseman as well, just like Kevin Palmer was.
Yeah.
If you could be paired with any defenseman, which defenseman would it be?
Probably Eric Carlson.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, if someone plays a trick on you in the dressing room, which teammate would you think it was?
Maybe Connor Long or Alexander Nazgoff.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite meal after a game?
I don't usually eat after a game because it's so late, so I go right to bed. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's early in the season, but is there a player or a team that you hate playing against?
Not really.
Sorry?
Not really.
All right.
No.
Okay, and I'm sure there's some people back in Norway you'd love to say hello to. Here's your chance to do it.
I want to say hello to my parents in Norway and my little sister.
Say it in Norwegian now for us. How's that?
Jeg vil gjerne si hei til moren og faren min og lillesøsteren min i Norge.
And we want to thank Eric Brinestat for doing that for us, and good handle on the English language there. And for his dad, Rune Brinestat, back in Norway, had him finish off in Norwegian at the end of that segment. So I want to again thanks very much to Eric Brinestat for doing that for us. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of Meet the Knights. I want to thank producer Mark Perry, and Jeff Chapman's back there doing some work as well. I'm Rob Leonard. We'll see you next time on Meet the Knights. Knights Talk.